Lords and ladies, welcome back to MyStreet 5 years later with your host, Jacob Butter. Yes, one minute, Lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking. As you can tell, a little bit of an issue here. It seems that, at least vocally, I've been getting worse rather than better. Still have to constantly blow my nose, but now I have also developed a cough in the past, couple of days, which is bizarre because that wasn't one of the things that I was, suffering from before. And I'm really hoping that this clears up in the next, day or so because I have a choir performance on Monday. It'd be nice to, not be coughing during that, or potentially, So I've been trying to have as much vocal rest as I possibly could, which means that if I do a stream after this one, it's going to be an editing stream where I can have a bunch of guests and they can talk rather than me, and I'll just be in the background. That's the plan for right now, at least. But of course, 5 years later goes on. No matter what, the show must go on. Yada yada. So we're back here today with the Werewolf Alpha. Which is a significant one for the cameoest of cameos to ever cameo. And I'm sure the meaning of that is definitely not lost for people who have seen the thumbnail of this if you're watching the VOD. However, I'm not sure if it means too much to our guest right now, or at least not, on the same emotional level. Because yes, I do have a guest to help me out today, thankfully, and once again, it is Vin.
Woo! By the way, you might be echoing a little bit, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. I keep forgetting to turn off the reverb.
Yeah.
Once I start. Yeah.
I forgot about the private chat thing in here, so I was waiting until you let me back in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. Sorry about missing the last one. I also got sick. I was coughing like no tomorrow, and I had a headache that stretched 1,000 miles. So I mean.
It's amazing how a lot of us end up with the same afflictions despite the fact that we don't live anywhere near each other.
Well, I know the reasoning for mine mostly had to do with allergies, the weather getting really cold, and the best part, I caught food poisoning. But
I was gonna say I can definitely consider the first two of those, but I can rule out the third one.
Yeah,
sure.
And it all came together, and I was gonna show up on Thursday, but the night before I fell asleep 5 hours earlier than I normally do because of the sickness, and I'm like, I shouldn't, because I was coughing so much to the point where it'd probably be too interruptive. But now we're both coughing, comparably less
that's
than
fair.
beforehand, but yeah. And
did you watch the episode afterwards, or
I did, and that's why I asked you if we were doing the thing today, because on the VOD you actually said it's happening on Sunday.
Oh, I was referring to the original on Aphmau's channel, but yes, fair enough.
Yes,
okay,
you said the 5 years later would happen on Sunday. That's why I had to ask you, because you also said the 14th.
Yeah, because for some reason people keep on saying oh yeah, we'll do it on what day of the week is that? And it's well, I mean, does it really matter? I just told you the date. But I'm not used to doing that. Normally I just say the 14th, or I say whatever date, and then I say same time, same place 5 years later. I only started doing that when you asked me constantly which day of the week it was. So
that's just how I work, dude. I'm building it into your system accidentally.
I suppose we've only got 2 more videos after this one, and then it's the end of MyStreet 5 years later, at least until season 7 happens, and then 5 years after that, of course, it will resume. But yeah, we're bookending a chapter of the Jacob Butter channel lore, essentially.
I join in the final chapters, because of course I do.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting is in these videos, I've always linked the original reviews that I did when these videos first came out, and some of them were much later than the actual upload because I was editing, I was doing college stuff and whatnot. So this one actually came out in January 3rd, 2020, and MyStreet 5 years later started November 3rd, 2020. So within like the same year, the same year Aphmau like radically changed her content, and then that gave me the incentive I needed to
Keep moving.
start 5 years later in the first place, which meant that I was like harkening back like to an era like of nostalgia that was less than a year old at the time in question. There you go. And now of course, Aphmau herself has like started to revive this stuff by announcing season 7 in the first place, and it's sort of like bridged the gap. So it's also like a beautiful circle I was not expecting to be able to pull off at the time. But there you go.
Yeah, and depending on how long it takes for her to release season 7, I feel there may be a slight to very high chance that you are gonna somehow on stream get me to watch the actual like other MyStreet stuff.
Yeah, which incidentally, I will say this. We have I'm not planning to for VOD watchers. I'm not planning to wait 5 years until I talk about season 7. I will of course be doing like
an original review, like, and then 5 years later.
Exactly. Whether or not those will be live streams, or whether or not I'll go back to the old style with my with minor improvements, I'm still debating. But we will see from that point onwards. Because of course, I guess that I will also. People want to be guest stars on that one because back at that point, I didn't have as many guests.
And now you have like 7. I can't count, so about 7.
I mean, there's plenty more that you haven't even met.
Oh, probably.
Again, but years, yeah. That's the thing, the objective was to keep the roleplay Aphmau fan base alive to whatever minimal degree I possibly could, and it's been happening.
And I'm chilling back.
Definitely.
I'm just here.
Right, well, yeah. Okay. Well, let's chill back then, and then get this started. So I can potentially do a stream where I don't talk. Right. Without further ado.
You can't be serious.
Oh wait, hold on.
I was about to say, does it start there?
This is... Sorry?
Does it start with you can't be serious?
No, that was like fast forward a little bit because it skipped ahead accidentally, which reminds me that we're immediately about to get into one of the most egregious anachronisms in the entire history of MyStreet right off the bat.
I'm scared.
You can't be serious.
I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. I see gold and white, but that's just me.
Can you send it back a little bit? I can't read. I couldn't read the yellow in time.
Okay, hold on. Well, I mean, good luck reading that anyway.
We gotta find out. Okay. Yeah, this is why you don't type stuff in yellow. Yellow on white paper just clashes way too much.
Doesn't it like such cosplay wow or something underneath the yellow?
Oh no, that's such a mystery wow.
Ah, okay.
Where'd you get cosplay from?
From the general form of the OE, seeming like do like a P and an L, then an A instead of like an E and R, and then the Y was on.
Yeah, I mean it does look like a P, but you realize based off the curve on the Y that it's cursive.
Bear in mind, like for these videos, I'm never on full screen, and I obviously have like the shrunken version of this anyway. So
I'm on iPad, so I can put my face as close to the screen as I physically need to.
Well, there we go.
What is in yellow?
I don't know.
What?
But to talk about like the actual thing I was going to talk about for this right now, the thing about the dress is that was a thing from 2016 that went viral. Obviously, 2016 being like then a distant future, but also in the significant like internet, relatively speaking, past to when this came out in 2019. So kind of interesting in that regard.
The time traveling goes crazy.
It certainly does. Aphmau makes Aphmau tries to make like current like internet references at the time, but then realizes that but then also wants to make these videos seem like they're not set in any year to make them somewhat timeless to go back to them, which is kind of backwards to me, honestly.
Besides,
portrayals of the era, or you make them timeless and I guess like invent a bunch of stuff.
I mean,
it's weird to try and do both.
You said this takes place in 2003, right?
More or less, yeah. I
mean, like 2003 had some great memes. I mean, most people probably don't know they're from 2003, but they were some great memes. Gotta remember some. I just looked up 2003 men. What the? Let's see. What? Because 2003 gave us the Badgers animation from whatever his name. You know, like the dancing Badgers loop.
I do, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that came from
I know that one at least.
2003.
I don't know if the rest of the audience do, but yeah.
Star Wars Kid came from 2003. That was from a man wielding a golf ball retriever to imitate Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Oh, okay.
And another thing happened in 2003 that I will very briefly mention. That was when they introduced Rule 34, but I don't think we can reference that one.
Well, no, I somewhat doubt that Aphmau would have made reference to that one. I mean,
absolutely.
She made some mature references in the past, and some of which you've seen in this, but
yeah,
but yeah,
but
never to that degree.
In the time, especially in a high school in 2003, it happened a lot.
I don't give a crap about the color of the dress, Hunter. I give a crap about what you said before the dress.
Also, this is an optical illusion?
Before that.
I don't know a thing about dresses, but here's the dress magazine.
Hunter!
I don't see what the
dress magazine. One of the original magazine it was from. Wow. Okay.
I love how
Big
the front.
deal.
I love how the front doesn't use a realistic photo, but it's an extremely realistic photo of the shirt just to appeal to the audience.
I told you yes.
I mean, the thing is, with the Aphmau family, you don't even need to do that. The audience will either make the fan art themselves, or they'll find the characters appealing no matter what.
Yesterday when you
Yeah.
asked, I'm not interested in going to homecoming.
It's gonna be fun! Look fun, right?
I can't believe you even brought a dress.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I think that's a Kawaii-chan cameo. I think it's hard to tell.
It looks
And
orange.
The ears are somewhat deceptive because Kawaii doesn't have pink ears most of the time.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
on my end, it doesn't look like the Kawaii-chan pink. It's more salmonish,
Shopping magazine.
like cooked salmon.
Hey, I think most girls would find it adorable that a guy wants to be involved in a romance dance thing.
It's no coming, Hunter. And oh yeah, most ladies with boyfriends would eat that up. But if some guy they weren't taking to homecoming did that, then they'd probably think he was a serial killer.
Look, fine, I'm
Psycho killer.
I mean, guess
sorry, I just...
You told Annabelle you'd get me to go, didn't you?
Did that happen?
You know, I'm really putting my neck on
Oh, there we go. There's Aaron, that's for sure.
the line for you here.
I promise. I'll have you in absolute tip-top shape by the time mid-season tryouts for track come along.
That's already part of the deal, Hunter.
That's true.
Pile up the cat.
All right, anything
else? Introduce her to steroids, brother.
Catnip steroids.
Else. You name it, whatever it is yours.
Take those two.
I have a history assignment on werewolves due tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Wearables?
Yeah.
It's called. What's the difference between a wearable and an accessory? What's wearable? Isn't wearable like an adjective?
No, werewolves.
I can't hear. I heard wearable.
Really?
What is?
Why should you just go back to the dress again?
You can't be serious, right? Don't you pride yourself in doing the work on your own?
Of course I do. I'm not asking you to do the assignment for me.
You sure? You
I'm
need an
asking
animal
you
to do a lot of
the
your math
research for me
then.
instead. Then we can talk about it during our training after school.
That's somewhat more reasonable.
Really want me to research stuff on werewolves? You know I'm not the best at papers and writing and stuff, right?
If you want me to go to homecoming, then
Fine. All right.
Also, he's the one doing the writing, supposedly, after you compile your research. As long as
It does.
legible, it should be
It
fine.
doesn't
Right,
matter
I'll do
if
it.
your research is good. If she can't write at all, it doesn't matter. So, besides,
awesome.
technically, you can just get away with lying about the research and making it seem like it makes sense, even though it doesn't, and she'd probably believe you.
Yeah, but the thing is, once she gets the grade on the paper, she will then probably not go to homecoming if she fails it.
Good luck, Hunter.
Just don't blame me if you get a failing grade.
Also, by the way, there's a werewolf class, but it's almost entirely made up of werewolves, so I guess that's why it's a history project.
Oh, I'm sure your research will make for a passing grade. Especially if you want me to go to Snowcoming. Remember,
There you go.
I need that info right after school.
Yeah. How hard can this be, right? What do you mean you don't have any books on werewolves?
They're all checked out.
All of them?
Yeah.
One of my favorite hunter deliveries of all time. But I didn't realize this at the time, actually. But I feel like that was actually a Dragon Ball reference. Like, you missed all my vital areas. All of them!
Oh, see, now the thing is, the more that Hunter, the more stuff that Hunter says, the more this man is slowly but surely convincing me to watch Beastars, even though I know it'll be a mistake in my future. But
that's what I said yesterday. That's what I said last time on last review. That was my thoughts as well.
It's all of them. We have a class dedicated to werewolves, you know.
Go
and it just
interview.
so happens that they have a major project due.
Are werewolves that diligent in studying?
Oh, okay. First instance of cameo there, even though it's going to be more of an...
They're as diligent as any other high schooler.
Wait, hold up. Did my dude just make a racial Did my dude just make a species stereotype?
I have no idea. Hold on a second.
Hold back a few seconds. I think he just made a species stereotype.
I was too focused on the character in the background. Right.
I see, but
Yeah.
take a listen. This man's about to be specious as hell.
Let's see.
Them. We have a class dedicated to werewolves, you know, and it just so happens that they have a major project due.
Are werewolves that diligent in studying?
They're as diligent as any other high schooler, which, as you know, most high school kids aren't that diligent.
We'll excuse the as you know this time, but there.
Yeah.
However, werewolves in particular don't normally return books back in the best condition, which is understandable given how territorial they can be.
Well then.
I should not have been taking a drink when she said that.
I was looking at you, realizing exactly what she was about to say, and going, "You're making a mistake, my friend. Don't do it."
I thought she was gonna say the page was like ripped or something.
Nope.
I didn't know we were gonna get into like Mucles territory.
Mucles.
Upper planes to humanoid. Truly, this book is my territory now.
Can I use a computer?
We currently have a class using the computers for their computer lab. You'll have to wait until after school.
I don't have that
Or
long.
a
I need
phone.
I'm surprised the computer lab doesn't already have computers in the lab itself. Like, I know she means like laptops in this case, but normally computer labs already have like ones that are like regular PCs or monitors.
And it depends on the
Especially in
computer
2002.
lab.
There you go.
It depends on the computer lab. Some of them were not. Some of them, it was more of they couldn't keep. It was more of the laptops were surprisingly more effective per se. I don't exactly have the reasoning, but sometimes they would use laptops over computers for each squad.
I can guess the reasoning. They upgraded the laptops, but they haven't changed the computers in many years, probably.
That's probably
info
it.
right now.
I remember that in my primary school, the computers that we had still use Windows 2000 in like the year 2010.
But I love Windows 2000.
Good for you. No one else did.
Ow.
What's wrong with Windows 2000?
You didn't hear this from a school.
The fact that Windows 7 was out was wrong with Windows
Also,
2000.
man, look at those computers. What is
now that is fitting for the time period.
very?
Librarian, but if you're feeling lucky, maybe you can get away with using your phone's internet.
I literally can't afford to use my data.
Well, then you can connect to the school's public internet. Here's the password.
It was public internet.
Let's see. What's the school make their password?
I don't think we'll find out.
This is too slow. All right.
School internet's always really slow. I don't know what you were expecting.
I like the implication that he's been roaming around the school trying to get a good signal for however long this. Oh wait, no, never mind.
No, he's right outside the library,
Yeah,
dude.
I just realized that. Yeah.
Calm down. There has to be a way to research werewolves without
He's
having
in the middle of
any
a hallway.
reliable
Great. This
resources.
is how you get caught by Mr. Diaz.
Yeah. How about you ask one of your werewolf students? Maybe they'll know.
Yes.
Right.
Power of interviewing.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Right.
hey, look. We may be oracles, Jacob.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
wait.
seen it, but
The librarian said
It's
there's a
been
whole
fun.
class dedicated to werewolves. Maybe I can ask them myself.
I mean, there's not just a whole class dedicated to werewolves. You have a partial werewolf student body. Even if they
yeah,
weren't in werewolf class, which
They
they would
still
be
be
anyway,
there.
because all werewolves are in werewolf class. That's actually established in the series. But even if they weren't, they're still right there. So
yeah.
ask away.
I mean, it's sort of like how they do it in other schools, and this was before everybody started seeing things racist. But when you do different projects in big schools about specific like cultures, you would go around and ask people from those cultures. Like when I was younger, I would get a lot of questions about Vietnam when people did Asian projects to get difference from Vietnamese people, Japanese people, Chinese people, Cantonese people. I said Chinese and Cantonese. Wow. But yeah. So they compile. It
I
was
mean, fair
fun though.
enough. Yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, other than the fact that it would probably get very, very tedious if you are the only person from a determined culture, and everyone has to like gravitate towards you and ask you the same questions repeatedly. That would get boring. Other
No,
than
not
that
really,
drawback,
because
I can imagine.
not really, because it was in general Asia. So they had options between the students. They didn't all have to come to me. They could have got. They
Okay.
could have done. They could have done the Japanese, the Chinese, the Korean, the Thai, the who else? What did we have? We had a Taiwanese. There was a Filipino. We had a lot of different Asian races. So you didn't
Okay.
have to go to. You didn't have to go to all of them. The teacher actually stated, "Please don't go to all of them. You choose which ones you think will work best with your project."
Hmm.
Most of them came to me because they knew I was one of the smarter kids, which I think was definitely racially inclined. But
If it was racially inclined, wouldn't they go to all of the Asian students then with the exact same logic?
no, it was also because of the glasses.
Then how is that racially inclined?
I don't know. That's what my friend said. It's been so long since this happened. I still think he's stupid. So
I will say, if you are indeed the smart one of your friend group, that's an indication on that statement you just made from one of your friends.
that's a good
Not for
point,
nothing.
man. That's a good point. Listen. This was also during Hello Kitty anime days of my school life. So I mean,
I see.
in relating back to something I said, like how many episodes back? Like,
Yeah,
not
I'm
even
I'm,
2 days.
I'm relating back to Avril Lavigne's Asian research as well.
Yeah, this was
Hmm.
in my Hello Kitty anime days of school life, which was my elementary. That's when this happened. So I may be fully misremembering things about what my friend said. It was just, it was fun though. I mean, I got to make up
Hmm.
stuff about different cultures that weren't Vietnamese because people assumed I was different Asian. But
Why didn't you just tell them that you weren't?
no, here's what I did. I told them all this stuff, and then right when they said thank you, I would say, "Oh, and by the way, I'm not Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever it was," and then be like, "Yeah, all that was a lie. Congratulations, you failed."
And then they never asked you for help ever again, I assume.
No, actually, they came right back and tried to figure out what Asian I actually was.
I mean, sure. As long as then, have to like immediately rewrite the project because it was on a deadline, but okay.
Oh no,
Sure, okay.
no. I only did this to people who asked day one because they had time and I thought it'd be funny. Besides,
I see, I see.
I didn't think it'd take them that long to figure out that my Asian was pregnant with my boss's kid.
I mean, that title alone takes a long time to figure out, but, I'm sure there's a video for it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere.
This is fine. This is fine.
How do they
Oh,
not
just
hear you?
think about
That's a good point. Werewolves canonically have better hearing
You know
than
what it is,
humans.
Jacob? And I pointed this out all the way back in episode like 3 or whatever it was. Conditional hearing. They only hear what they want to hear.
Oh, that's been a constant thing, like, since the dawn of time in MyStreet. Well, it got particularly bad in season 5, but it was always a thing before that to some degree. But season 5 is really when everyone stopped hearing conversations happening right next to them. Is it you know that there's like one joke in Family Guy where Peter wants to talk to Lois and there's like next to them. So he's like, okay, let's go like let's go like a few paces away, but somehow magically out of earshot. And that's exactly what happens. And it cuts to the shot of them. They're just like talking silently.
Yep. Lucky they're the Family Guy.
Yeah. Which, by the way, incidentally, I'm surprised that Hunter doesn't actually have any werewolf friends on account of the fact that I assume that werewolves would be like really good track athletes because we know that they are canonically faster than regular humans, and potentially also Mifa, but that's unconfirmed.
Yeah, I mean, I would say something about to like in fairness to the humans, they would separate them into different track groups. But then again, Keori would participate with other humans, so I can't say anything about that unless they only specifically separate the werewolves, which dependent on the difference is funny.
Yeah, I would say I'd be surprised that in universe they don't separate them, but then again, I do remember that Sports Day was also not gender separated in Phoenix Drop High season 1.
What is Sports Day?
It's a day of sports where everyone competes with everyone, and depending on like certain events that they suselect and such.
And how
we'll get to that. We'll get to that if you watch Phoenix Drop High.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and now we can hear the conversation all the time. Yeah, no what?
Of course.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I was wondering if maybe I could ask you a few questions.
Questions?
Yeah,
like for example, how come you have the different type of eyes that no other extras are permitted in this universe? How do you get access to those?
No, very comparably more important question. Green?
Wrong shade of green, but yeah, still green.
Well, also it's because it's a different eye shape, so they probably don't have access to that shade.
I was curious about your...
Ooh.
Oh no.
Do you think this human is going to ask us to snow coming?
Wait, huh?
Really? That's so brave of him.
What an...
Yes, let's loudly discuss him as if he's not right in front of us, to each other, when he's clearly talking to us, so there'd be no excuse for him not to hear.
Aphamu.
Hunter,
Whoa,
you are in
hey,
extreme danger. Hunter, you need to get out of there as fast as you physically can. Listen, Hunter, they always say stuff in the movies that it's always the women who get affected with the unusually threatening sexual actions. It also happens to the men too. You need to get out of there.
So,
he's sweating.
Who are
oh
you
no.
going to ask?
He's not
Me,
running.
obviously. I'm
so
closest to alpha female material.
Get out of there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Please.
Don't worry, Vin. If I know anything about werewolves in this series, the problem will solve itself in a matter of like 5 seconds.
You, alpha female, you can barely keep a beta male in check.
Yeah, didn't your man leave you or something?
Yep.
No, I kicked him to the curb because he wasn't good at loving me?
Ladies,
This is the kind of new music that was. Can't make that reference.
If this weren't a kid's show, not being good at loving her would have implications.
It's me you want, right?
Well, I mean, it's also an
Reek,
Aphmau show. I feel like we know the implications.
Yeah.
See, in this scenario, Aphmau did think of the implications. Oh no.
Shannon, what are you doing?
Getting a better mate, Dave.
A what?
A date, Dave. You know, like compassion. Something you're not
Hunter, get out of there.
You said mate first and then date afterwards.
great at.
You lack compassion.
Hunter is not picking up on any of the cues. This heathen's so much danger. See, I would have left.
Shannon.
Oh, wait a minute. That's crazy. See, as a very avid, get the hell out of there if you feel any threatening sexual tension. Hunter, please. I understand the character you play in Beastar, but also, this is not that character.
Yeah, and from what I understand, that character also gets threatened somewhat as well.
Oh,
I've seen the Team
absolutely.
4-star summary.
But that one runs. This one needs to run too.
I mean, he's a track star, so
God, he hasn't got a clue about anything, has he?
He's just staring.
yeah, he's
Oh,
not
no.
got a clue, of course.
Hunter, the move's been made. You better
human
move it.
right here.
Hunter?
It actually kind of reminds me of when Caitlyn and Lucinda were having a fight, and they started fighting over who was immediate friends with Aphmau and Phoenix Drop Eye.
See, Hunter, I feel so bad for you. You need to get out of there.
You're
Please.
human, right?
Oh, so you want
You are
Okay.
a human. Right?
Okay, in universe, certain werewolves have the ability to hide their ears and tail to appear human.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh. Dude, I told
got a
you.
lot of nerve to go after my girl?
I'm not your girl, Dave.
I thought she was going to be like, wow, so assertive.
She's right.
Oh, wait, they
doesn't
also have
belong
the
to
funny. They
anyone.
also have the main character eyes, don't they?
Stand down, humanite!
Stop!
Huh?
Humanite?
And here we go. There we go. Hey,
Oh,
finally she's here.
Guys, this is gonna be
Oh
great.
wow,
I
someone's
barely
filming
know
this with a phone.
2 people. 2 people are filming it. Do you not see the second?
I mean, we've mentioned, yeah. Oh yes, yeah, I do see. I thought you say you barely know 2 people here. I was about to be like, well, I mean, I pointed out the Ian clones in the past, but I think that's actually him.
Yeah. So let's
But
see.
yeah, which by the way, you know, fantastic idea to like frame her in a low angle here as well. I didn't notice that the first time, but the fact that Aphmau is canonically extremely short, as is the case in real life. So the fact we have like a low angle to give her power that's like that close to the floor makes a lot of sense.
See, that just gives Aphmau more power to hitting the weak spots of the males.
Which, I mean, if you know her leadership style, that's definitely not what she would do. But yeah, she's done to bite people's ankles before.
Did you say?
What?
Please leave him alone.
Oh no! What have you done?
No, wait.
Be careful!
Don't worry,
Why are
don't
you
worry.
stopping me? Don't you realize who that is? A scrawny human who gives a crap about... That's the alphas.
Why was that such
What?
a long whisper?
Oh, it's the
Like,
guys! I got it.
the
It's
implication-
guys! I got it. It's the.
What? No, yeah. What I was going to say is that the implication that Blood Werewolves had was that Aphmau and Aaron were dating at this point. Aaron being the alpha male in the school, and marking Aphmau as the alpha female, partly to protect her. The implication was that, you know, the alpha male and female don't have to date, but it's like very common for them to do so in werewolf culture. So the thing they like to oh yeah, that's the alpha's mate. That would be what I would guess they would say if it weren't for how long the whisper was.
Since when? Are we really gonna allow 2 humans to...
Huh?
I'm annoyed at it too, but if we want to change that, we gotta fight him. I don't understand how... No! Just wait. Once I take that title, I'm coming back for you.
I can't wait for Dave to learn about.
Also, the way to challenge an alpha male or alpha female actually is to fight them and defeat them.
The
And then you put them in
female?
a position. Yes, but if you're challenging for the position of alpha female, you usually are female yourself. You know, kind of goes.
That's what
without saying.
confused me because he
But
said that when the dude said he was gonna challenge someone.
Yeah, he's going to challenge Aaron, you know, the alpha male. But the thing is that, you know, it just dawned on me the fact that like marking Aphmau as the alpha female was probably a horrible move on Aaron's part, because anyone could challenge her. No one did in the first year, but someone did in the second year when he wasn't around to protect her at that point. So,
Dave's gonna learn about steroids.
Huh?
I guess he's a werewolf. He shouldn't need them.
You
Did
sure?
she scare them off?
You okay?
Yes, I'm sure. Oh wow, there's a character that's smaller than Aphmau. Did not notice that.
Ah,
That's a shock.
midget Mal.
Oops. That's a charged word right there.
Hey? Darn it.
It's
Can I not
best
say
you don't
that?
get close to her.
Yeah, come on.
I'll catch you later, cutie.
You're still in so much danger,
thanks
my
for that.
friend.
For what?
Dante once said the exact same thing to someone.
You didn't see how you scared him off?
From my perspective, it just looked like they got flustered with you. The werewolves in my class get pretty heated when they're fighting, and they just kind of walk away as far as I've seen.
Really? Oh, well, then thanks for saying something at least.
Yeah, Aphmau wasn't sure exactly why that was the case at that point.
Not like everybody else watching.
Oh, for that, you're welcome. I guess it just bothered me, I guess. Anyway, glad to see you all right. See you around.
Wait, she said werewolves are in her class. Hey, wait a minute! Hey, yeah, you said
Yeah, see, now we can see the difference between the heights of the other characters.
you had
Yeah.
werewolves in your werewolf class?
Yeah?
But you were human. Or so that guy from before said.
Ugh, oh yeah. So, funny story. I was enrolled in the wrong class on my first day.
So, you're still in it?
Yeah, but I think someone in the office just messed up a lot of papers because there's this other human guy in my class too.
Perfect! Then,
There is a law reason for both those things, by the way, but we'll get to that
Who's the human lad?
at some point. in
do you
the
think you
show.
can help me?
Oh, that's also Aaron. I mean, oh wait, no, you've seen a little bit of Aaron. I was gonna say I haven't seen much of him yet.
With?
Oh,
For the record, VOD watchers, Vid has watched the remake of episode 1 of MyStreet.
And that's it.
And that's all apart from Phoenix Drop Days. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I
a little bit of
am
context for like the actual, main
I
roster.
am fully blind, especially this episode. This episode will probably be the most confused I end up out of all the episodes that I will be a part of. So, and I feel like there's a reason for that.
It's gonna seem very weird to you because like when we get to like watching actual MyStreet, it's gonna seem like the spin-off, even though it was the original show.
Yes, because my brain will have naturally connected this as the main show. Because you never start by showing someone the spin-off, but that's what I've been here for.
Yeah.
I've only missed 2 episodes.
You know,
except
I
one
actually-
of them I've only
Yeah,
missed 2
I actually
episodes.
made
Except
a
one of them I
video.
just fully missed it, and then the other one I was in the live stream chat for. So
Yeah, I actually made a video for for like how exactly the best order, determining the best order to watch Aphmau roleplays in, because it was a question like on the Aphmau wiki at the time, and Phoenix Drop Days didn't exist when I made that video, but
But now
if it
that
had, I
you've
definitely
seen
would
it,
have put it first.
now that
Now
you've seen it,
I would not put it first. Yeah.
Well, too bad. It's first for me. Except for episode 1, everything is first for me. This is the probably worst decision that for a first, because you don't get to meet any of the mainstay characters until episode 9, in which you should have already known most of the stuff about them. I don't.
I think that's why they were kept like mostly separate. This was an interesting direction for me because I didn't imagine that Aphmau would play such like a pivotal role, even like the entire episode. I mean, yes, we're like almost at the end actually, which makes me realize that yeah, I can definitely do a stream at the usual time roughly. But yeah, like I wasn't expecting much more out of this, but or even I mean I was expecting like even this amount. Is what I meant to say.
Oh, it's kind of a thick bow. Like, what is
Lisa, I have
happening?
this writing assignment I need to...
That is true. The bows get thicker and thicker the more they like redesign them and like upgrade their like art tools.
do about werewolves.
Can't wait for the
and,
bow to be classified as a ponytail.
Do you know Kawaii-chan has 3 bows on her character design?
What?
Yeah, one on the front of her head, another like big one at the back like Aphmau has, and then one on her tail.
Illogical.
I
Highly
need some history
illogical.
on 'em.
You don't need that many bows.
Probably
You're not the
right
president.
person to ask. I barely make it by werewolf class at the moment.
Huh?
It's like, sometimes they talk about bodily functions, and I'm not ready to talk about that.
We've already talked about bodily functions in this episode. We don't need more territorial stuff.
Listen.
By the way, if season 2 finished up high, there's also like a throwaway line that even like in the next year, so Aphmau's sophomore year, so freshman right now, but in their sophomore year, they're still talking about marking their territory. It's like one of the only lessons that Aphmau ever implements. It's kind of like how Aphmau has like 3 things about running. It's like 3 things that were like included in the Werewolf like curriculum that they constantly recycle, and yet her character still canonically can't like manage to get through it.
Okay, so what you're saying is the Werewolf class just teaches a lot about marking the territory. I don't think that should be a high school class.
Well,
if they talk about that much about marking the territory.
It could have been revision topic. I mean, you study about the urinary system in like biology, so maybe it's kind of like that.
I mean,
but
yes,
the fact that like there was like it sounds like what we like see in lesson like on actual screen. It would have been nice to have some more variety rather than going back to this constant, marking of territory implications that we've been getting in almost every reference to Werewolf class itself, like the actual curriculum. I mean. In the class, other stuff
and I thought you only really needed, like 1 week of, I don't know if I can say the class name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, where they have to teach you the birds and the bees.
Health class?
No, the other one.
I mean, I thought that's what people sometimes like refer to it, so I thought that would be like a nice middle ground.
No, because there's a difference between health class and the other one, technically.
Okay. Well, I mean, the other one, I assume they still also get a week for that, because I don't believe marking your territory falls under that description.
See, technically it does. And it's weird. The implication, well, let me explain this in terms that I can say on this stream. So,
okay.
Let me just go ahead and look this up just in case. So, pretty much, we're going based off dog, because werewolf, dog, yay. So, the original most common method, and this is usually around a 50% happens the time for dogs, as you had already stated, urination. Which I think I can get away with saying on the stream, so we're chilling. So, like,
again,
that
would fall under the description, but yeah.
That would not. Then there's the second half, in which
I assume
how do I say
fluid?
This? No. Well, technically.
Good.
So,
okay. What?
Technically, it doesn't happen all the time, because dogs have issues, but I'm trying to say as little as I can while still getting the point across.
I can just imagine the people watching this VOD being like, please get to the point so we can move on. And I'm thinking the same thing right now.
I just keep moving. I cannot think of the word right now to get away with saying this.
Great, okay.
What are you, a freshman or something? Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to guess.
Are you a freshman?
No, I'm a junior.
By the way, this was somewhat surreal to me at the time of this came out, because there had already been a couple of mini games where I had like joined. So because I know you won't know this, Finn, but like around this, like to bridge the gap between uploads of the MyStreet episodes, Aphmau would like use like mini games, kind of similar to what she does now, in the sense of like the same like roster of characters, improving and such. But it was always like within like the context of like adjacent to the world, but also not canon to it. So they were still playing themselves, still like the same dynamics and like memories from the actual show, but nothing that happened in the minigames ever like reflected in the actual series, with one implied exception, but that one they got away with.
What was the exception?
And so, there was a character named Rylan, werewolf actually, who had a crush on this Meef one named June, who they invented for the minigames. That's why I kept calling Keori June in my original review, because I was associating that character because she looked also like a lot like June, in fact. So it was like my brain was connecting. But yeah, essentially June was only for the mini games. That was like because they had no like overarching plots at the time, so that's kind of meant something. And then in a future episode of season 5, Rylan references like a girl that he had a crush on that never went anywhere because in the mini games it never did. It was more of a case of he got flustered. She thought he was sweet. Never really went further than that because they couldn't really do that because obviously one was canon, one of them wasn't. So that's the exception. For most other every other instance, it was just random things, which means that so technically these characters did in fact meet in the mini games before this point / singing competition. I think it was like an Never Have Ever or something when they first met. So it was surreal to me because it was like, well, I mean, I'm gonna be firmly established that the mini games is not canon because I've had this debate with some people for years. But yeah, I mean, what a way to do it.
We love non-canon with exceptions.
I mean, well, we certainly do. We had enough of that with Contextualizing Sun. There's a reason.
It's what I do.
Good.
Listen, D&D is very much you steal stuff from other campaigns and it just magically becomes canon, or you steal stuff from things that happen with the party, with the group of players that didn't happen in this canon, and it magically becomes canon. That's just D&D for you. Sometimes you need some random funny device to be chucked in, and it's like, oh, hey, look, a knick-knack or the knick-knack.
Yeah, I mean that stuff makes sense. The part where like I drew the line was because like I think it was like after we had the canon episode we just had was one where we found out about like the kidnappers for the first time, and the stakes were starting to like to up themselves and everything, and then it's like, okay, well, we need to like actually get actually the next episode is going to start off like directly addressing that. We need to like go forward with that, and then for the non-canon one, we just like completely ignored that whole thing. And if we had like gone back to it, it's like, well, why did we just have that full like side quest and never acknowledge like anything else that happened? I just left like Hera behind for most of that time. Obviously, we had some behind the scenes reasons for doing that, but again, talk about in universe, not so much. So,
in universe,
characters like if we also made like a bunch of allies like 99 mice, like Chethaniel, his crocodile, giraffe, etc., etc. Hermes. So
we got
like, okay,
half.
well, some. And of course, like everyone wanted to like keep them around. So fortunately, because I was playing Chethaniel, I could make an excuse for Chethaniel to like go off like if I was like he had to go his own way or something. And then Chethaniel was like, no, I'm definitely doing this. We're leaving.
I casually just slip Nyx into your jacket, into your pocket, and it's like they're gonna stay there. And
Nyx was the exception because like that was for the record, Bob Watch was watching this. Nyx was like a random, like small cat that didn't like affect
10 centimeters to be exact.
10 centimeter cat. Yeah. So, well, perfect for a gnome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially so that was like the end. It's like, oh yeah, it's a surprise. You got Nyx. Like, yes, time to never bring up this character ever again. And I didn't.
Well, I mean, most people would not have known about them because you would have to go onto the Jacob live stream, which is on. It was on Joe's channel, while all the other stuff on KW's channel. So most people wouldn't even know about it, except for the main characters. That's like, yeah.
Well, partly that was cross promotion. I was trying to like promote KW streams, but also, but also, if like the other characters had like survived and come towards that, then everyone on KW's channel would also be like doubly confused because not only would they not see the non-canon version, but they also would not know where to find it in theory.
Yep.
So there was a multitude of reasons why I was like, okay, like, Chethaniel, you're gone. You're out of here. Anyway, back to this.
I tell you to use the books in the library, but I know how it goes with werewolf-related books, especially when there's big assignments that are due around this time.
Yes, we've already referenced. Yeah, okay.
How about your phone?
Keep referencing it.
It can't.
Huh? Oh, here. You can use mine for a second.
Oh, I remember this now.
Really?
You gotta make a good decision here, Hunter. What are you gonna do with the phone? Are you gonna do the right thing and just find the information? Or are you we about to pull up and we gonna go export all your information onto my phone and thank you, I have all your private information, I can blackmail you. Congratulations. Hunter, you're supposed to be learning from
I mean,
Keori. Understand the crime. You're
I mean,
giving me.
he doesn't know her. He's got no reason. He's got no reason to blackmail her.
But still,
But
Hunter needs to understand the
gotta
power of crime, like Keori does.
I'm not about to give you my phone. It's really important to me right now.
Yeah,
Oh, hey, look,
can't
Tiny
imagine
Cat
whose phone
with
isn't
more
important to
gear.
them.
I'm not about to give you my phone. Here, have my phone.
Hey, you
Yeah.
going to class?
Nah, I have first lunch.
Really? Me too. Do you think I can eat with you today, or?
Sure.
What is first lunch?
So,
In Phoenix Drop High, they have different lunch periods depending on the students' like actual timetable. Because some lessons like coincide with them, so you can have the first lunch or I guess the second. I don't know how many different lunch periods there are. I think Aphmau always references herself having first or second, so I don't know if there was more than that.
are there any tabs I should avoid?
Many.
Many.
You have multiple tabs open on your phone? How? I'm more impressed than anything else.
Board gear.
All I can imagine is like going because that is the sound effects you made when you took a burger in a previous episode. That was,
What?
like, one of the side stories. There was like a whole thing where we discovered that Apple has like a fast food addiction for one episode only, and then it's like resolved afterwards. But
What,
yeah,
she
that's
got
the
hit
sound
with,
she
like-
made was like her going.
Did she get hit with like instant rehab or something?
Well, no. Aaron stepped in and like and like helped. Well, actually, no. She went to Aaron was like eating a salad next to her, and then she was, and then Aaron said like she said, Aaron, do you think I'm chubby? Then he went on like a whole speech like, okay, well, you just eat horribly. Blah blah. That was like one of the issues of blah blah. And then it's like, oh, you said I eat horribly. Blah blah blah. That kind of thing. It's like, well, I mean, it's true. And then we discover slowly but surely that she's on first name terms with Iris, the fast food lady. In fact, had been invited to her wedding. Seemed to like have like this, and Iris seemed to have like her personal phone number as well and her social security number. Don't know why she needed that last.
That's
bit,
so
there you go.
good.
Yeah. There was a lot there. There was a lot that happened in that.
You're telling me why
There was
go for
like
the
2
social security
scenes.
number?
I described like 2 or 3 scenes of that episode to you.
Listen, why go for the social security number? You could have gone for the last 4 digits on the credit card.
Well, I mean, depending.
No,
on,
wait, you don't need
how
the
much
money
she
from a
orders
fast
from
food
that place,
employee.
I don't
Most of
need
them are
to.
broke.
I'm sure that Iris, got like a bunch of like really good tips anyway. Especially if Amazon invited to a wedding, I'm sure there was like a there was like a mutual
Agreement.
symbiosis there. Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, in that episode, she Aaron gets her to like exercise, and that was eventually that was like resolved. She gets offered a cookie at the end of the episode because it's related to like the Kawaii-chan subplot. Oh, actually, remember that clip in the Dante song, like right at the end where like he runs over Caitlyn
With the car?
No, it's like he topples her down because they're in like side of her house. Remember, like did that thing like the Dante song.
Oh yeah, I thought
that's the same episode. That's the people of that exact same episode. And the thing is that they actually were Dante and Travis are trying to we're actually in there to try to scare Kawaii-chan and make a viral video because I guess cats being afraid of cucumbers but I think they're snakes. So they eventually do that like outside. Aphmau like wrestles a cucumber to save Kawaii-chan. Kawaii-chan offers her a cookie and she turns it down. It's like, no thanks, I've got a salad with my name on it. And I was like, I'm proud of you, full circle. And that was the episode, and we never talk about that plot line again.
Oh. Werewolves have a deep history.
She downed
No
that.
idea.
Which, by the way, first time I had kind of an actual Minecraft sound effect in a MyStreet episode in a long time, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Gavin keeps reiterating to everyone that rage and anger are like harsh emotions for werewolves to face. It's something about their origins dating back to when magic was more prominent in the world.
Rage
What is
and
that
anger, so
something?
they can't listen to metal music. Got
Reference
it.
to Minecraft Diaries. I mean, or maybe no. I think maybe they'd be more inclined to do so. Rage and anger are, they're hard emotions for werewolves, but they are also very very frequent for them. So honestly, there probably would be like lots of metal fans.
I can't figure out if they'd be heavy metal or smosh metal.
Yeah, that's your domain. I have no idea.
I normally fall asleep in werewolf class since, well, I'm just a crappy student. But that's something is still unknown.
Really?
Yeah, apparently a lot of history was lost during that time period. So no one knows and everyone is just left guessing.
Wow.
Nah,
That
she's
must
casually in
suck.
my basement. Don't worry
know
about
you-
it. Patrol
There
will find
was
it.
actually interesting. There was a library that Diary Zane burnt down one time when they weren't as popular. Maybe that was what she was referring to.
History?
It sucks for sure.
What about this Ultima?
Hmm?
Oh wow, there's a lot of speculation on what this is.
Nissan Ultima? Wait, what?
Killer of humans,
Not quite. Not quite.
uncontrolled.
not-
Rage consumes reason. The werewolf's curse? It sounds like a fairy tale.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure nothing like that exists.
What I'm reading is a fairy tale. Probably why you haven't learned about it. Oh look, there's a conspiracy theory subreddit dedicated.
Or I was just asleep during that.
You got a text.
That's oh my goodness. That actually, yeah. Hold on. No, okay. Before we get to like the text, because that's important. I will say the conspiracy theory like board about the Ultima was actually referenced in Valkyrie University, which is like only a few years like after finished up days would be. So
I'm trying to figure out
becomes
this
much more of a
just
thing
happened on
afterwards,
my
so
end,
maybe-
but the
maybe,
lag is going
like-
absolutely crazy. Wait up.
Oh no! It's been going on for me as well. I just wouldn't want to draw attention.
Okay.
To it.
Text from an FC.
Yeah, you're going. What just happened?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna scroll back because I'm gonna scroll back to this importance.
Or I was just asleep during that.
So yeah, the lag is going.
We got a text from an FC.
Give me that!
I didn't read it.
FC?
Name!
Yep. Okay, there we go. So, this is a huge thing in Phoenix Drop High Season 1, which again takes place is at the same time as Phoenix Drop Days. And in that one, Aphmau, her only friend before high school is someone who she met online in a video game, and who exclusively goes by FC, and she goes by Shu. They call each other by their gamer names. So yeah, that's why FC is significant.
Wait, Aphmau goes by what?
Shu. SHU, not like
Oh.
SHOE.
Okay, because I couldn't figure out if you meant SHU, SHOU, or CHOOUX.
Like the pastry. Yeah, no.
Like the pastry.
That would be adorable though, but no. Not in this
listen,
case.
It's called a shoe. It's called a shoe pastry. That's how you pronounce it. So I mean, honestly,
See, the thing is, I actually know
Aphmau would
why.
name herself after a pastry, though. Aphmau would name herself after a pastry.
Yeah. I actually know why FC is named FC, like out of universe, but I don't know where Shu comes from. That to me is still a mystery.
Where does FC?
Although then again, like years later, Aphmau, like the creator Aphmau, would eventually make another channel for Roblox that she referred to as Shuki at the time. So maybe that was like also another username she had, or her actual username on a video game. I don't know.
Where does FC come from? Face chat.
Falcon Claw, one of the villages in Diaries, but then it's like a big city in MyStreet Times.
Look, he's a great friend of mine, and it's weird when...
Hey, you!
You guys.
Oh no.
It's weird when someone else says someone's gamer tag name. I honestly get that. Like hearing my parents say like anyone's like Discord username is very weird.
What do you guys want?
I just go by my real name at this point. I don't care.
Yeah, okay, fine. Assuming they have a Discord username, it's kind of like like KW for example. There's one of the things like my as soon as I got like KW's book in the mail and I got asked about it. It's like, oh, it's one of your friends who were in the book. Oh yeah. So what's her name? Oh, yeah, KW. Does she have a real name? I assume she does. I didn't know at the time. I do now. So
I still don't.
sometimes there are exceptions, but yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I still don't.
Both in a secluded place. Screw going after the alpha directly. I'm gonna hit him where it hurts.
Huh? You need directions?
Hey, stop!
Oh,
What
Oh look, it's the alpha. What a coinkydink.
was that?
not the coinky ding.
Stay down.
Yeah, you have to say that to them, not to Hunter. What do you mean?
No,
Aaron,
no.
Turn
You,
around.
no. You don't get it. You don't get it, dude. It's one of those anime scenes where the person on the floor doesn't even deserve eye contact, so they look backwards at them and they just say, so they're pretty much facing the camera, and it's just, stay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not worthy of me looking at you, and this is how we will save our lip animation with the studio.
It's a very big anime. It was a very big anime trope. Listen, it was a very big anime trope. So I mean, like,
Fair enough.
What was that about?
You're just as stupid, aren't you?
No, I'm not. What gave you the right to punch him like that?
Did you not?
they wanted to
realize
take
what
you
was
to a
going
secret.
on?
No,
They
because
wanted to take you to a secret place, Aphmau. They wanted to take you to a secret, extremely secluded place, Aphmau. Pick up the social cues. I need you to realize that they're not somebody. They are not a. I need to stop making these implications in this episode. What is happening?
Yeah, no, especially because I know exactly what they were actually doing. I was like, oh no, is that how it comes across to someone new to the series?
That's how. Listen, when my dude said, when my dude said we're gonna take you to a secluded place alone, and it's a small girl and two larger dudes, you realize the implications, right?
Well, I mean, he also said, I'm going to hit him where it hurts, referring to the alphas, and, hit him where it hurts, implying that they were going to, harm Aphmau.
But still, even with the other stuff, that can also be taken into context of the implication that I'm picking up. Because what hurts more than your closest person, the alpha female, getting that happen to them? If you're picking up on the same implication that I am.
I'm picking up on what you're saying, certainly. And
you realize why,
if
too, right?
If that were to happen, then absolutely.
You realize why?
I realize why, because it's dawning on me particularly that that this episode specifically, because it references so much external lore to the rest of this grand universe, and the fact that Hunter's a bystander in this constant feud that the audience is incredibly privy to, because as the Aphmau fanbase, they would have all known about what was going on and what they're referencing. But yeah, as a new person, this is also film establishing that Phoenix Top Days would not be this place that I would start anyone off with Aphmau.
Now I'm scared. Now it just seems like that. What could they be? I'm assuming they're implying fighting, but also
yes.
Now
yes,
that I
they
started
are.
off with this, just how do you go from it makes sense why now you say do not start with this, but now I'm starting with this, and now my brain is going to forever connect werewolves fighting to that.
Oh my.
I've been scarred.
Maybe your ears just don't work because you don't pay attention in class either.
I think I've had enough learning about werewolves today. I'm just
Now Hunter
screwed
runs.
up.
Hunter, after the sexual
I mean,
tension in the first scene.
I guess if he ran before, if he ran before, he probably wouldn't have got very far. Apart from that first scene, okay, but in this scene, they probably.
Listen, he's a track star. He can run.
On out of here.
She a runner, shit.
Stupid!
Wow. Is that the best you got? Stop arguing with me.
You can't tell me what to do. I'll argue all.
I get the impression that they were actually improvising that part. There are some bits that you would not expect to be in the actual scripts of some of the MyStreet episodes, where the actual baby sound effects that she does was one time. When
the what?
Gets turned into a baby, to pick up a potion.
What?
Yeah, she does and that's actually fully outlined and written out in the script. But I get the impression that those two, again, real life husband and wife, were probably just in a booth, trying to pretend to argue and, like making each other laugh in the process, I imagine. With somewhat of a more wholesome implication. And I will leave my drink to the most wholesome implication of the entire episode, because what else am I going to do here?
I mean, after sitting with a new person, witnessing how, without prior knowledge, everything seems like a sexual innuendo. And I mean everything.
Which is weird, because normally when Aphmau, like, inserts those, they are, like, very blatant. Like, obviously to the mature audiences. But, yeah, not this time. Now it's just, like, very accidental, I'm pretty sure.
See, if Aiden was here, I can't tell if he would... If Aiden was here, we'd get the most... Hold on, wait a minute, no, wait a minute, no.
No, I think if Aiden were here, well, because he would know the context, because again, he's a longstanding Aphmau fan like myself.
Yeah, I know.
But
he would
also,
eyes.
Yeah, he would also, realize what it seems like, especially in hindsight.
See, as a blind viewer, realize the Here runner, here tractor. Oh, hey, look, there's a Keori.
Yeah. It's just stupid research. Leave me alone now.
Well,
Wild Keori spotted.
Don't ask.
Don't
Just
ask.
take.
That's a thick stack of paper.
Nope, it's a
wow,
finger sheet.
this is awesome, Hunter. Thanks. Wait,
Wow, I barely glanced at it. This is awesome.
you actually got books? Darn it! Now I have to go.
This time,
What?
I'm not helping you pick a dress.
This time?
No.
I didn't help it last time.
Oh.
Did I miss that? Did I help pick a dress before?
The magazine scene at the beginning.
Was that what that was for? That's like an optical illusion. Okay.
No, he said that. No. He said that he was helping her pick out a dress because he assumed Annabelle wanted him to convince Keori to go to Snowcoming. So he thought, best method, let's find her a dress that she likes, that the best place she'll wear it to would be Snowcoming, to convince her to go to Snowcoming because she really wants to wear that dress.
Yeah, Hunter knows the exact same about girls that he does about werewolves. But yeah, I guess.
I mean,
guess,
after
in
this
hindsight-
episode, I think after this episode, his view on werewolves is skewed. Well, actually, no, he did research, so it's been unskewed. But before the research, Hunter is mentally scarred after realizing them werewolves be creatures of the night in more ways than one.
And that's another implication now that you've added on top of the list. Great.
I mean, I have to make implications because I can't
yeah.
say
In this-
explicitly what I meant.
I know. I'm just like adding on to what you were saying before. I know what you meant, and people watching this video also know what you meant. Rest assured,
Good.
much like the Aphmau
Good.
audience, we understand when these things happen.
This episode may
But
may
okay.
slightly ruin this reaction may slightly ruin stuff for the Aphmau fans who watch it. Now seeing a blind person who having gone in without any of the information about it and realizing how much of the stuff seems like that.
You know, that could actually be that could actually be like a potential like new reaction spin-off, like post 5 years later. We could start doing like Vin views or something, and then maybe like instead of like a full stream, because I've always done a full stream, we can just have like we can just have like a highlight reel of some of like the more intense like reaction things, or like a commentary track type of thing, rather than like a full-on review, because I've already done that in some cases twice, depending on the episodes in question.
It's just a compilation
Is that we can like
of
bunch up different things and have like the important stuff?
Jacob, it's just a compilation of my heavily concerned reactions.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just
Yeah, pretty
just
much. Like yeah, I can definitely think of ways that I can like edit that to make that, you know, a bit more exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're both dying. We need to get out of here. Final thoughts on the episode.
No, that was me clearing my throat. Yeah, no, I'm not dying. That was happening on Thursday. That's why I couldn't make it. Like I said, I'm not
Regardless,
dying.
Final
It's just
thoughts on the episode.
I feel mentally scarred after. Listen. As a newbie, in the words of Star Kid, they didn't think about the implications. I did. As a newbie, I did think about the implications. I liked the episode, but at the same time, so many different choices could have been made, like in a logical sense, including, and I stated a bunch at the beginning, Hunter, you should have gotten the hell out of there.
Yeah,
if
or
you have
clarified his position, he could have said like, no, I'm not going to ask you. I want to, instead of going like,
Hunter,
he could have like said like, no, I'm asking you questions about werewolves for a cultural project.
Hunter, as the proclaimed harem king, I would have walked away.
Mm-hmm.
As the harem king, I would have walked away. You don't do that one, Hunter.
Honestly, like a way to survive being a harem king is learning to communicate, not just like slurring your words all the time. Yeah, that's perfect, actually.
Yeah, I am very good at that. That's why we're all still friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have had no bad relationships, and they have had no bad relationship with each other due to me. So I'm doing an amazing job.
I see that I've now thought of like a brand new like anime series, how to survive being a harem protagonist. Like somebody is like encounters of like a harem situation they don't want to be in, and so that's like
it's just me explaining
like guide from a,
it's just me explaining. Okay, so here's the do's and don'ts of harem king. First off, do you actively want to have a ton of girls doing the shaboinky with you? I've already used the word shaboinky.
You have selected.
You know what I mean.
If you selected yes, thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe. If you selected no, continue. Something like that. Yeah.
If you selected yes,
then what are you doing here?
If you selected yes, please click on the link in the description because I can't get away with saying those things on YouTube. You're gonna need to watch this one on Twitter.
Okay.
That's a reference, but I mean, I don't know if you got it.
I will say it wasn't the site I thought you were going to have the link in the description.
No. The reference is they specifically sent it to Twitter, and then they said, "Oh wait, that's that. Oh wait, I can't get away with that. Go to Facebook."
Oh, okay. It's like a whole chain of stuff, right? Fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the order. Okay. As for my final thoughts on the episode, yeah, I remember when this one came out, and it was a huge deal. The thing is, obviously, the thumbnail of the episode kind of like ruins it a little bit because like we know what's going to happen. As in like, but which happens sometimes with Aphmau's videos was like, oh, it's like a huge surprise, but no, like it's given away right at the beginning. Well, then again, that would incentivize people to click on it, but again, depends on like whether you're going for people to click on it who are returning to this like later on, or whether or not it's like people have been watching the entire series like progress, from episode 1, like in the case of I assume most people. And if that's the case, then yeah, they would they would definitely be the people who would be more familiar with the extensive lore of MyStreet, which means that for the target audience of this video, like the loyal and existing fan base that Aphmau had at the time, it's definitely ideal. For anyone else, not so much. So,
as Jacob has now realized by me being here.
Yeah, although I don't think we actually they didn't like introduce themselves, so we don't even know like the characters' names at all. So this was like your first Aphmau series, and you would have no idea to check out anything else. Which is similar to what happened with me, actually. My first Aphmau videos were, like, Minecraft, like, roleplay side stories, which was, like, adjacent to Minecraft Diaries. But I didn't know that until I knew what Minecraft Diaries was until, like, later. And also didn't realize that's, like, the big move was going to be back to part to, like, eventual MyStreet. So I missed the initial wave of MyStreet, then came back, like, months later, watched Phoenix Drop High, which is more polished and structured, then the comment section told me that there was more content like actual MyStreet regular rather than just Phoenix Drop High, and I was like,
Yeah,
and
but
that
I got a
still existed,
guide.
So then I checked out MyStreet.
Yeah, I got a guide though. I got Aiden, who's pretty much just telling me what to watch, or if I'm in one of these streams, what I'm missing, which was very important for this one.
Is why I made that. This is why I made that video in 2017. And granted, the video, of course, doesn't include a lot of the newer stuff that came out, especially like the 2 years after that point. But yeah, if people want to watch like all of Aphmau's roleplays, for example,
don't start with this one.
Yeah, I ordered them partially in ascending order of quality, but also ascending order of comprehension, let's say, or comprehension required.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if we go based on
like,
quality, I mean, this one has seemed of a very like good quality, but also purely because of this episode, it is not the one you should watch first.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, if anything, probably watch this one after you've seen a good 5 seasons at least.
Yeah, although if you happen to be starting with Phoenix Drop High, then I assume it's mostly harmless, given that we return right afterwards to the regularly scheduled program with regular cast. It's just like a one-off, like confusing episode that's like connected. It's kind of like if you watched like iParty with Victorious, being only a fan of iCarly or Victorious, you're going to be confused for half of that special. Well, I guess
the other half
specials, whatever.
Yeah, but the other
half
is
like, oh, okay, fine. Well, this is like the roster of characters that I know. It's just because they knew that people were watching both shows simultaneously, they could get away with that. It's kind of like that, essentially. Some stuff you just can't explain, and I'm glad they didn't take a long time ultimately to explain stuff as well. It was just kind of a situation here. Maybe they could have rephrased certain things. Ultimately, is the main thing.
Season 7.
So all right, that's
drive Nissan Altima.
I'm very curious about. Okay, yeah. All right, now is the time to figure out when the next episode is going to be.
Yep, I didn't even say it this time. Probably, which means a Monday.
I kind of just assumed. Let's see.
Watch just be or not. It's just it's tomorrow.
No, we have some time left. Oh, this is interesting. I've got a flight the day after this video. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have no sleep that day. But that day in question is actually December 19th. So we have
5 days. Whoa.
We have 5 days.
That's a Thursday. Yeah, that's a Thursday.
I'm gonna leave that to you. And you'll be pleased to hear this. From what I remember from before,
it is a Thursday.
From watching us the first time, it actually, I believe for me, this was actually my favorite episode. I think it was the best episode of Phoenix Drop Day specifically.
That's a good sign. After this episode.
So yeah, I guess the one that hype people up because of cameos, and the one that hype people up because of the actual, story and build up until that particular point in time. So yeah, look forward to that, I suppose. On December 19th, same time, same place, 5 years later. Until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Bye.